Hi everyone, this is Lena from Trading Edge. This is 18 hours 12 minutes British Summer Time on 21st of April 2024, and at 18 hours today British Summer Time, which is 17 hours UTC, the Sun made the 90-degree angle to Pluto. Here it is here. This laptop is set up with the local time, which is British Summer Time right now, so that is why it's showing 18 hours for the Pluto square with the Sun on 2 degrees Taurus. Bitcoin began dumping 2 hours before the event at 16 hours British Summer Time, and now we're 10 minutes after the exact square. So I forecasted today that around the time of the square Bitcoin will start dumping, and I wrote this forecast in the community section on the YouTube channel. There is a section where we can write there, and I also forecasted that after this square is completed, after the 90-degree angle is completed, Bitcoin should start pumping. As you can see here, we're way oversold for on daily time. This is on a minute time frame, I beg your pardon. On minute time frames, we're way oversold. This is this indicator here is the VWAP, and the VWAP is very respected in amongst the market makers. So I do expect that Bitcoin will reverse anytime to bullish, and it will reach at least the top of the VWAP by the end of today. We have another 6 hours before we close today, so I've got a green candle forecast for today, exactly because we have 6 hours left before the end of today. And once this nasty bearish aspect is complete, which already is complete, we're now 15 minutes after the aspect. Once the exact 90-degree aspect is complete, then Bitcoin should start going up, because this is a nasty aspect. So as soon as the Sun has done the 90-degree, things will start getting better. So I've got today as a green candle closure. We have whole 6 hours left. Okay, and we have some other variables for today, which are kind of leading me to expect the green candle closure today. Okay, so I hope most of you have got into your long positions by now. The dips on the 12th of April and on 17th of April managed to fill 5 of my long orders. I still have another 18 long orders waiting. I wasn't in a rush to fill more orders. I made some very ambitious long orders, and I was determined that I'll go in only if the price drops to those levels. So the reason why I wasn't that fast to and that keen to enter the long positions yet is because the last week of April is looking kind of bearish. Some kind of a local bottom is shaping on the 29th of April. There are several bearish events taking place on 29th of April. So today was Pluto Square, Sun Square Pluto, which is a very bearish aspect. But then after today, there is nothing else until the 29th of April, when we will have Neptune conjunct Mars. On backtesting, Neptune conjunct Mars has produced 67% red candle closures in the past. And we have some more bearish events, such as the moon is reaching a minus 28 degrees of declination, which is normally shaping a local bottom. When the moon reaches, all southerly declinations are bearish for any planet. When the moon reaches that minus 28 degrees of declination, it does tend to be a local bottom, and then a sharp a sharp bull reversal after that. So that is also taking place on the 29th of April. So for that reason, I've got 29th of April as a local bottom. Mind you, 1st of May is also kind of a red candle day. I will talk about May in the next video, but just bear in mind that although 29th of April is shaping as a local bottom, as you know, there is always that swing failure pattern that the movement then goes up and then it comes back to retest that again. So 1st of May also will offer opportunities to enter some long positions. Why am I so keen to enter long positions, everyone? Is because May is looking very bullish. Several of the bearish events of April are no longer present in May. This is my forecast here for April. Mercury weak, Mercury will be strong. Mercury is going direct on the 25th of April. And look what is look the statistics for 25th of April. So on back testing, the Mercury retrograde cycle has produced 64% closures on a green candle. The last day when Mercury stations direct, 64% of the time has closed on a green candle. The solar eclipse cycles, according to the solar eclipse cycle, this will be day 17 from the solar eclipse, and it has closed on a green candle 72% of the time and 86% of the time. In the previous video I explained to you the difference between the two different types of backtesting that I'm doing. The first two columns I'm backtesting the solar eclipse with the assumption that the lunar eclipses are just normal full moons. So when I start counting these days after the solar eclipse, if I reach a day when it's a lunar eclipse, I carry on counting as if it's part of the solar eclipse, right? So the assumption is that the lunar eclipses are not significant, they're just normal full moons. Whereas these columns here are counting the same number of days after the solar eclipse. However, I have extracted the lunar eclipses separately. So the second lot of columns, it looks like this. So you see the lunar eclipse here is separate, right? And in this table here, when we reach a lunar eclipse, we carry on counting. So my table 8 is summarized in this first set of columns, and the second set of columns are summarizing my table 7 when the lunar eclipse is separate. On both of those backtesting systems, we have the 25th of April as closing on a green candle, although that is the day after the full moon, which is kind of unusual. The full moons tend to be local tops for Bitcoin. On this occasion, we've got a forecast that the 25th of April has high probability of closing on a green, which is one day after the full moon. Another bullish event is that Mercury will reach, the speed of Mercury will be 0. We already covered that. That basically means when Mercury stations direct. And so these are new events here happening from 25th of April. And these events will be lasting for the whole duration of May, meaning that Mercury, remember when I said to you that Mercury is going on a southerly declination? Where is my graph? Mercury is heading on a southerly declination for the whole of April, and from 1st of April, Mercury heads from 1st of May, I beg your pardon. Mercury heads on a northerly declination, which is mega bullish. All of the planets here will be joining forces again, and they will have Mercury on board. Mercury will not be working at a cross purpose anymore to the other planets as it was the case in April. And for that reason alone, I'm very bullish for May. And for that reason, I'm kind of keen to enter long positions, but I'm not going to be silly and buy high and then hoping to sell high. I'm not going to do that. I still have some self-respect, and I have made my orders to be self-respecting orders for long to open long positions, and if they get filled, they get filled. If they don't, they don't. I already have 5 open, so it's not too bad, but ideally I would like to have all of mine all my orders met, so I can be in on several cryptocurrencies in May. Okay, so this is a very big bullish event now happening from the 1st of May. Another bullish event that happened, and that general astrologers don't know about, that is that Mercury became visible from the 19th of April. And if we look on the chart, so this is 19th of April, and here it is. I wrote it somewhere, that Mercury. Okay, first day of visibility, 19th of April. Here it is. Okay, as you can see, I work with slightly different variables than the standard financial astrologers. Aspects are important, but they're not the most. Aspects don't determine the trends, and these things do. Once Mercury now becomes visible, this is much more bullish, and while Mercury was invisible, was a nightmare. That's why we got so low on those days there, 11, 12 and 13, because of that Mercury heading on a southerly declination and being invisible at the same time. It just got way too much. So now Mercury, at the end of April, Mercury will be on the northerly declination from 1st of May, and Mercury is visible as well. Big changes for May. Not to mention that Mars is entering Aries on the 1st of May, which is a mega bullish event, mind you. I've got a red candle forecast for 1st of May. I need to look at it again. I'll discuss May in the next video, but for now, I think 1st of April particularly will be a red candle day. And Venus is going into Taurus on the 1st of May as well, around the 1st of May. Again, that is a very bullish event. And look at that, once Mercury turns on that northerly declination again, we have all the planets heading on a northerly declination, which is a mega bullish event. Also, on Chinese astrology, we're no longer going to have this doubling of elements. We had April was the month of the dragon and Earth dragon. So we have 3 elements Earth. Dragon is Earth. So the year is dragon and the month is dragon. That's double Earth. And then Earth dragon as well. That's triple Earth. And that is what flattened the price. I didn't listen to this basic knowledge that I had from Chinese astrology. In the beginning of the year when I started this channel, I kept saying April is bearish, I'm very bearish for April. And then when I decided to do the astro accounting and take into account all the aspects that are taking place in April, and I made this presentation here, I saw all of those conjunctions, and I just thought how it would be possible for this month to be red when we got so many conjunctions, and conjunctions are bullish for Bitcoin. So I underestimated the movements of Mercury, that Mercury is very weak, being retrograde and heading on a southerly declination and being invisible as well. Did I write the visibility here? Did I take that into account? Mercury invisible. Yes, I have taken that into account. So that was what brought the weight towards the red movement. It's that weakness of Mercury. And what I did, I back-tested Mercury retrograde, and actually it was green. All events of Mercury retrograde have delivered mostly green periods, which was a big shock. But I did the back-testing myself. So I know that this was a real finding. This was not a made-up finding. In typical Mercury retrograde fashion, it managed to confuse the hell out of me. and it managed to spin me around and to spin my bias into a bullish bias for April. But anyway, I'm learning. I'm always from my mistakes, and I'll never trust that Mercury retrograde again. It's a bigger trickster than Moon in Scorpio. This makes Moon in Scorpio like a very innocent kind of being. Mercury retrograde is confusion amplified and deliberate kind of trickery. It made fools of everyone. It made fools of the bulls and it made fools of the bears as well. It just Mercury retrograde just really made sure that everyone made a total fool of themselves in April. So only 50% of these conjunctions materialized as green candle days, and I really didn't expect that. I expected that at least 80% will materialize as green candles days. We still have to see how today will close, so I haven't put a tick to this one. Okay, all I wanted to do in this video is wrap up April and tell you what I'm planning to do, and that is I'm planning to open long positions because I'm expecting big things from May. I'm expecting a very bullish month in May. It is bullish in Chinese as well because we're gonna have Earth Snake, so we're gonna have the repetition of the Earth element only 3 times. It's not gonna be 4 times anymore, which is still a lot, but it's better than what was in April. In April was 4 Earth. It was, I beg your pardon, hold on, it was Dragon Year and then Earth Dragon, so this is 3 Earths. 3 Earth in April, and May will be 2 Earth and 1 fire, because the snake is a fire and fire represents ambition, drive, confidence, bullishness and optimism. So we're going to be very optimistic in May for the Bitcoin market, and for that reason I will not be surprised if this dump here on 29th of April, which will form the last bottom before the pumps of May, I will not be surprised if this dump happens to be lower than the previous dumps in on 17th of April and the 12th of April, because the market makers will want to make us bearish and scared to open long positions, so only they can be in their long positions. So just to let you know my thoughts and my plans, trade your own system, listen to your own common sense and your advice. And I'll catch up with you soon to report to you the scores here from the backtesting of the solar eclipses, and to tell you more details about May. Bye.